Right, so this is one that wasn't going to get filmed. We had an issue with a sticking flow turbine adapter, one of these. However, as you can see, it hasn't gone to plan. What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Life of a Jobbing Plumber. In this episode, got a few little jobs to rectify. These seem to perform best on my account, anyway, my YouTube channel. People seem to like the short, sweet, and moving along to the next one type of jobs. Unfortunately, I can't get them all the time because sometimes I'm stuck on a job for a day. So yeah, hopefully this one will do bits. Work has picked up a little bit since last video. More reactive kind of work. Well, that's what I'm down. That's what I do anyway. But no real boiler installs. You know, like your really good money type of jobs. Not many breakdowns on boilers either. A few here and there, but mainly just jobbing about plumbing. But whatever pays the bills, isn't it? Hopefully you learned something on this episode, and don't forget to click subscribe if you haven't done already. Give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment down below, and I'll try and reply back to every single one of you. Catch you on the next one. So yeah, the old one. This has happened. This happened. It does happen. I don't know why certain ones snap inside the block. So now we need a full right-hand block, which is what I've just been and picked up. Here it is. And as usual with Baxi, did I send you any washers? So I better hope that the old ones aren't too bad. It is an ERP Baxi and it's about 8 years old, this duotec, so with a bit of luck the old ones won't be too bad. And obviously I can replace the fibre ones. It's just these, the plate heat exchanger ones, I've definitely not got them. So yeah, all I've done so far is obviously shut off the cold water to the boiler. I've shut off the heating valves after draining the pressure out. I haven't turned it off. We're going to disconnect the power to the pump. You've got a screw under here to undo, which bolts it to the chassis of the boiler. PRV to undo. Drain off can stay in for now. Pressure gauge is there. That one's taken out. Screw holding the pump on. Screw holding the pump on. And another screw holding the plate on. That will then come out, he hopes. So took out that screw out of there and just undone the cold and return connection off the bottom, just letting any water drip out for a minute. We will get a Phillips and remove this pump. Might as well stay plugged in. Get a towel ready because there'll be a little bit of water left in this when we pull it off. Oh, I need two hands to hold that pipe at the back to pull it out. So that's off there now. I'll just put that to one side. Out the way. No, there we go. I have to clean up these O-rings and plenty of silicone grease before putting the new one back in. I can get onto that pressure gauge now easy enough, and the plate one. In theory that should come out. PRV is disconnected as well. It's just stuck with bloody nothing. It's not stuck with anything. Right, let's get, where's the bloody new one? Let's get PRV out of this, drain off out of this. Oh, I forgot about this bloody thing. Oh no, I can't remember how that comes out now. I've got to get that out of there. I'm not sure if it just pulls out, you know. I can't remember. Freaking hell. Yeah, it just pulls out, well, unwinds out. You grab all of it, grips, and keep spinning it, and it'll come out something on an O-ring. So that's going to go back in there with a bit of silicone grease. Because I'm having to what the hell's that? Reuse washers and stuff. I'm covering him in silicone grease to hope for the best. It's probably worth pointing out that it is 3:30 Friday afternoon. I've still got one more job to get to yet. Grim. Just got a PTFE this drain off in now, back in. Now should be good to go for putting it back together. So I've managed to get the plate back in. I just undid that side a little bit just to give us a bit of leeway to slide it back together. Put our chassis bolt in. Pressure gauge is back on. Obviously clipped on the Hall effect sensor. Now I'm going to put my pump back in position, screw that up, and I'm going to change these 2 fibre washers on the cold and return valves and sort out the PRV. And we should be good for filling back up really. 1/2 inch and a 3/4 washer for them two up there. And on the old one, sorry. This is where it's see it snaps inside. It just breaks on the weak points. They just get rusted in. Well, not rusted in, but welded in. It breaks where it's cut out there. Positive note, that new one comes with one of them, so at least the customer's not having to pay that as well. Right, let's get everything dried off now. It's all back in. Open that valve up. I've just done that side. Cold water first. That's us repressurised now. So far, so good. We've got, it's going to show its ugly face again. A little bit of a weep. You can just see it now coming off that pump. Which is absolutely grand. Thank God for Baxi sending new washers, eh? I mean, the pump's not too bad of a job. That O-ring's not bad at all. Don't have to take the whole block out. It'll be on that little brass plug that I ended up putting in. So basically drain down them 2 screws off and replace them, but I'm gonna go in there. I think I'll pick them up because yeah, I've got another job to go to after this. And I've already had to delay them. So I'll be back on this one. Should have known that they didn't have washers. Baxi don't send washers with hardly anything. Only the plates, which is absolutely ridiculous. They just make you buy them as extras. Don't appear to be dripping anymore. I did get another little nip on the screwdriver light, but to tell the customer just to keep an eye on it, because I don't know. Tidy up and give it another check. Right, so this one we've been called out to is the customer can't get pressure above 0.5, and every time the heating's on it's losing pressure, so that tells me it's probably going to be the expansion vessel. I'm not sure on this yet why it won't go above 1/2 bar. Maybe they've been doing it wrong, maybe there's a blockage in the gauge, but when I drain it down we can check that. Vessel on these is right at the back. You can just see the test point, but we'll whip this cover off. 2 screws top, 2 screws there, and get the cover off. So before pumping up any vessel, I always fill the inflator part of it with silicone grease. Just helps aid the Schrader valve to shut back up after you've recharged it. Doesn't always work, but it works more times than it doesn't. So the drain off the Worcesters is here at the front. Get a hose connected onto that, and that can go into a bucket. It's only a 1/4 turn, 1/8 of a turn kind of drain off style. You don't need to take it all the way out. And obviously we've got our vessel now connected up to the inflator. You can already tell that it's flat, should be at 1 bar. So we'll wait for that to stop running first before pumping it up, because what I want is when I start pumping it, I want this to start running again to prove that the little flexible hose at the back on these Worcesters isn't blocked, because that's quite a common fault. That's stopped now. So what that's done is pushed out all the water in the vessel and replaced it with air, which is what's supposed to be there. Let's close that off now. Just give that a minute just to make sure it holds its pressure. So a little bit of leak detecting fluid, spray that onto the Schrader valve just to check it's definitely closed off after you've filled it up. And if you notice, don't ignore the fact the boiler's already decided to fire up. That gauge hasn't moved and it's empty now, there's no water in it, so I think it's blocked. So following the gauge back, it's just behind the condensate trap there. My finger's pointing, so we'll have to remove that. Just take the black hose off and push this little clip off. Not much gunk in that actually. Yeah, then we're going to pull this clip out with some grips, pull that out there, and hopefully it's blocked on that end. I can't tell whether that's blocked or not. Right, it was blocked because I've just stabbed that pin into it and we dropped to 0. So I'm just going to put some silicone grease on this O-ring now and push it back in. That's back in now. I'm going to put a bit of grease again on this O-ring and a little bit on there where the pipe pushes on, put the condensate trap back in. That's still on 0. Drain off shut under the boiler. Let's get some pressure back in there. See what happens. Not a lot, yeah. We're just taking its time, but lovely that. That's a test operation, and put this back onto what it was on. And 26.9 checks, and we'll be away from this one. Nice easy job, no parts needed. Job's a good one. So back on this one, where we changed the tap last week. They want the plug changing because it's sticking a little bit and it's all pitted, as you can see. So we've got ourselves there. It's Thomas Dudley, this one. Epson, it's their brand, but it comes with, no, it's not there, there it is, the Basin mate. So I tried one of these before, a couple of times actually now, and didn't need silicone, was quite pleasantly surprised. So yeah, we'll be trying that again without silicone. I hate the fact that they're on bloody pedestals and it's siliconed in. Lovely. I mean, I could take, it's not been tiled round, thank God, but we'll see how we get on. I could take the actual, loosen the basin off and slide this, lift it up at the front and slide it out. It's just on 2 screws, but it means cutting all the silicone off and a bit more work. That there's silicone around here as well. Let's see how we get on without doing that. Before anything, I'm going to get this trap out of the way. Give it as much room as possible. It's coming off pretty good, that. Thank God. Right, trap's out of the way now. I need to sneeze. Somehow undo that big nut up there. Don't know how much you can see down there, but I just literally got the grips on it, only managed to turn it a little bit, and it's now become hand tight, thank Christ. Been infused plumber's mate on that, and silicone. Yuck. I'll clean that top edge now. I'm just going to try and get the rest of that silicone off there before putting our new one in. Obviously, I'm telling people how to suck eggs here now, but you get 2 types of basin wastes. This is a slotted one that the plug falls out of. A slotted one, which means it's got the cutout in for an overflow. Some basins don't have overflows, so you get an unslotted waste for that. Following the instructions, obviously you have number 1 is the waste body, number 2 is a washer, which we've got. In fact, that's not showing the instructions for the basin mate, is it? There's the basin mate instructions. Yeah, so foam washer it says first. I don't like this. I don't like that at all. It's actually a lot bigger than the body itself. I'm thinking I'll put that in and I'll just trim around it with the Stanley knife. So yeah, foam washer. Then we've got to put a black rubber seal up with that, then pulling down tight, and then just your normal basin nut after that. I'm going to soak this in some warm water though first to aid it sliding up, because they're a pain in the ass. Right, so I've managed to push it on now. White clip, nut. See if I can get enough on this to tighten it up. So that's us all in now. With a bit of luck, we'll have no leaks. We've got no leaks, so obviously I'm going to test the overflow connection now by filling it up and make sure that plug actually seals and holds water. And that'll do me. One last check. I'm really impressed with them basin mates. Imagine how easy that's going to be to replace in the future. Love it.